Woman posts video of MAGA boys. These are the kids from Covington Catholic who were in Washington, D.C. for the anti-abortion, deny women abortions rally and march. And then, you know, were harassing the Native American elder. Woman has posted video allegedly of the Covington Catholic boys harassing her and her friends before the incident with the Native Americans. These guys are really into their MAGA thing, you know. Whew, amazing. Mark in Janesville, Wisconsin. Hey, Mark, what's on your mind?
Hey, Tom. Well, I think you pretty much answered all the questions as far as Trump and the Republicans. I mean, they use each other. Trump's worried about the Russian investigation, and the Republicans, you know, they just want to advance their oligarchy, you know, lower taxes, less regulation. They don't care about the workers. They basically could care if they drop dead.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all about making money. They're mostly narcissists and sociopaths. I believe that.
Yeah, I agree. Big Brother 5 over at DU posted a thing saying, "Time to quit calling it a shutdown. This is a lockout."
Yeah, they don't care. They don't care anymore about the poor white guy or middle class, the black guy or the LGBT. They don't care. It's all about the money.
Yeah, it's all about rich white guys. Got it.
Sure. Rich white guys. Thank you.
Yeah, Mark, well said. And thanks for listening to WADR there in Janesville. Steve in Bellingham, Washington. Hey, Steve, what's up?
Hey, Tom. I'm a big fan. I just wanted to tell you what you were saying before about how this whole shutdown is a libertarian dream. I totally agree. I've thought that for several days now. But to kind of put it in different words, though, the way I see this is kind of like the ultimate test right now of whether government is necessary or not. There's a lot more riding on this shutdown than I think most people realize. We're very close to losing democracy.
I think we've already largely lost democracy. We have elections being decided by and large based on which oligarch and which industry puts the most money behind which candidates. But the idea of losing our republic, a democratic republic, I think I'm guessing that's really what you're trying to say, Steve. We're on the edge of losing that. I think that's absolutely true.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Yes. Thank you for your work.
Thanks a lot, Steve. Good to hear from you. Jerry in Rochester, Washington. Hey, Jerry, what's up?
Yeah, Tom. Hey, I agree with you almost 100% about the oligarchs in this country getting together to, you know, and I think the plan was hatched before the shutdown, okay? There's certain environmental pressures or certain, after the Democrats got the House, it's more pressure on these oligarchs. They got to make their move, and I think it may be even have gone international. Thanks.
Yeah, no, I think you're right, Jerry, and I think that you're seeing this kind of stuff happening in countries all over the world. Well said. Ken in Tierras, New Mexico. Am I saying that right, Ken?
Yes.
Hey, what's up?
Well, I have an idea that's a little different. I believe that Trump is actually setting up to do martial law. That's why he's so completely insistent on having the wall, because it'll keep us in. And also, I think that's why he did that phone thing where everybody got a call from him, so he could announce it, so everybody'd know they were under the thumb.
Oh, that's right, the emergency alert thing.
Yeah,
presidential proclamation.
Yeah,
Wonder if he's going to do that for his State of the Union.
That could be, but hopefully he won't have a State of the Union.
So here's the question, Ken. If the goal that Donald Trump is driving toward is martial law, why?
To take over the trust funds for the ones that they've been trying to raid, Social Security, Medicare, to try to make every single solitary thing for profit.
So this is basically on behalf of the billionaire class that Trump at least claims to be a member of.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Claims to be, yeah.
Yeah.
I think we all get it.
I don't believe he is.
This guy's a BS artist going way, way back. Ken, thanks. Yeah. Thanks for your contribution to the dialogue. Ray in Seattle. Hey, Ray, what's up?
Not much, Tom. Thanks for taking my call.
Sure. What do you think?
Just a quick. Well, you know, you mentioned earlier that the government shutdown is stripping us of all of our protections by cutting or shutting down the FDA, the TSA, and IRS, the judiciary. Is there a way to tie his security, the president's security detail, into this? A way to tie
the Secret Service agents who protect the president are not being paid right now, Ray. But they're still working, just like the FBI guys. In fact, the FBI reports that there have been virtually no sick-ins. These people, I think, you know, I have a friend, when we lived in Washington, D.C., a guy who worked with me on the TV show, who really, he was in the control room, really wanted to be an FBI agent. You know, he had spent much of his life trying to become an FBI agent, and he just couldn't quite make it. But he was down at the FBI applying for jobs and this and that and the other thing. And what I really got is that, you know, by the time somebody actually gets to be an FBI agent, they have put an enormous amount of their lives into that. It becomes part of their identity. So, you know, which is a very different thing than, you know, hey, I'm a clerk at the Department of Commerce, you know, and I push paper. So I think it's going to take a lot more time for Donald Trump to destroy the morale at the FBI. But he's certainly trying. And I think the same is probably true of the Secret Service as well, that these are kind of high-status jobs as well as high level of commitment jobs. But don't put anything past Donald Trump. Ray, thanks for the call. Bob in Tahlequah, Oklahoma. Hey, Bob, what's up?
Oh, just want to key in here for just a sec. Power is destructive. Sustainability is what's going to save the planet, what's going to save the human race.
Yeah, Bob, I agree with you, but your phone is breaking up really badly. It's not going to work. You're going to have to call back, and we'll do it another time. Richard in Alamosa, Colorado. Hey, Richard, what's up?
Yes, thank you for taking my call, and you have wonderful people that answering your phones for you. You ought to
sure is great.
Raises.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm a social capitalist. We could have capitalism, but be a little kinder.
Yes.
I think if we spent a good solid percentage of our military budget and maybe employed the military to feed, clothe, and house the people of the world, we wouldn't need a military afterwards. Everybody would love us for it. If we legalized drugs and gave $1 billion of seeds, cannabis, poppy, and coca seeds to the Central American and South American countries that could produce cannabis.
I think they'd be better off with vegetable seeds, Richard. But I get what you're saying. You know, that the Marshall Plan did more good for us, basically, than World War II. Well, I shouldn't say more good. I mean, taking out Hitler was a really important thing and a really big deal. But ultimately, if you don't win the hearts and minds of people, the difference between the way that World War II resolved and the way that taking down Saddam Hussein in Iraq or Gaddafi in Libya or the Taliban in Afghanistan, the difference in how those things resolved had to do with the Marshall Plan. It had to do with rebuilding, giving people something to, and our being, you know, giving something to them to live for, and our being the ones who facilitated that. Is that the essence of what you're saying, Richard?
Exactly, and really ending this war on drugs is a key component to not needing a wall on the southern border. If you make the countries south of our nation more livable, then they won't want to come up here. I've worked with guys that spend 9 months away from their family to try and make a living in the United States in construction, and they hate being away from their family for that time. Yeah. These guys could, you know, we could have reverse migration in this country if we made things more livable in Mexico, Honduras.
Well, that's happening, actually. Mexico's economy.
All the countries we've messed up.
Yeah, Mexico's economy has been improving, and you know, now they've got a guy who's kind of like Bernie Sanders as their president, and they're putting their country back together. Migration from Mexico to the United States has been a negative number for a decade now. More Mexican citizens who have been living and working in the United States are leaving the United States to go back to Mexico than are Mexicans coming into the United States. The quote problem that Trump is trying to get us all to freak out about and hate these people about is people who are fleeing, as you point out, Richard, who are fleeing these repressive regimes and dysfunctional governments in Honduras, Guatemala, and El Salvador. In all three cases, governments that are screwed up because of what Reagan did back in the 80s with Iran-Contra. So spot on. I'm with you, Richard. Paul in Wheaton, Illinois. Hey, Paul, what's up? Paul, listening to WCPT?
Or Jimmy?
Oh, Jim, I'm sorry. Yes, Jim. I'm sorry, Jim.
No problem, no problem. Yes, Tom, everything that you said is, I believe, spot on, except for we're just missing the obvious. Like, why is he doing this? Well, I think we're giving Trump too much credit. He is not. He's a smart man in political theater, but he's not a smart guy. This is he is owned. He's a wholly owned subsidiary of Putin. He owes them his entire livelihood since the late 80s. And you can funnel that into the top of the GOP, too. Why is Mitch McConnell silent? Why is Paul Ryan retiring? They've all accepted money from the NRA, which has been funneled, Russian oligarch money funneled through the NRA. They're all owned by the Russian oligarchs. Like, isn't that obvious? They all.
I think so. Or at least there's a certain high level of loyalty there. The question is this individual billionaire oligarchs in Russia, or is this the Russian government itself? I don't know the answer to that question. Or is there a way to distinguish between the two? Just like oligarchs in the United States, to what extent do they control the Republican Party? Pretty much. Jim, thanks for the call. We'll be right back.